553.
Oh. Hi guys, I'm Steve. This is Shelby. We're the co-founders of We the People USA Alliance and We the People Arizona Alliance. And we have a few things we want to talk about really quick, and I'm going to let you get started on this here.
Sure. So anybody that follows Patrick Byrne, the America Project, Linwood, the professor, you know there's a lot of stuff going on out there, right? So we want to come on, we want to clear the air about some information that we know and put that information forward. But we first want to start by saying how grateful we are for the America Project, how hard these men in the America Project work to fund, support, edify, lift up the grassroots out there, how much they've done to support us here in Maricopa County and all across this country. And we are honored and blessed to be a partner organization of the America Project.
You know, Patrick Byrne he is an amazing person, and I think he is one of the few people that we are truly and deeply honored and grateful to know and be able to call as a friend. He is such a generous, wholesome person. He's just honest and just wants to do what's right. And I think knowing him personally and knowing his heart is what helped us to trust him and believe in him and respect him to the level that we do.
We don't normally like to get involved in this infighting and the stuff that's happening, but it's not really infighting when there's malicious attacks, right? But we don't get into the mud. We've been attacked. Preposterous, crazy things. I'm not even going to go there, right? But we don't have time for the distractions. And frankly, neither does General Flynn and Patrick Byrne. We don't have time for the distractions. That's what our enemy wants. They want to distract us with the daytime TV drama. And we try to avoid it, right? I mean,
yeah.
Up until this point, we've all avoided it.
We have had many, many instances where we would have been fully justified to completely rip someone apart for the ridiculous claims that they've made about either us or people that we know around us. And it's just kind of our personal policy to not lower ourselves and to get involved in that. So we don't.
But when your friends get assaulted with words, when your friends are attacked with unfounded claims and just maliciously and viciously attacked by people using a platform, you have to step up. And that's what Patrick did. Patrick stood up because of what they were doing to General Flynn. And God bless him for it. God bless him for standing by his friends. And, you know, there's a lot of questions about what's going on with Dr. Shiva. What happened between Patrick Byrne and Dr. Shiva, right? We don't know.
That's between them.
If you want to ask Dr. Shiva what his problem is with Patrick, then, you know, maybe he can answer that. But what we can answer to is the $50,000 and what happened with Dr. Shiva's project. We wanted this project done. We were working on it since the beginning of the audit. We were saying this needs to be done, this needs to be done. We told Patrick this needed to be done, and Patrick said, anything I can do to help, I will help. As time progressed, we talked about, hey, we think Dr. Shiva is going to do this project, and we need funding. And he talked to Dr. Shiva himself and said, you know, I will help fund whatever's necessary. So the reports got closer, and our contact here that's been facilitating with Dr. Shiva contacts us and said we still need a funder. And I think it was later in that day or the next day, we had an opportunity to meet up with Patrick at his hotel while he was in town briefly about a whole nother issue. And we mentioned, hey, that project's almost done, and we've heard there's some incredible things going to come out with this project. We need to figure out funding for it. And he said, well, I told you I'd fund it. I told Dr. Shiva I'd fund it. So we got our guy on the phone, and Patrick talked to him for a bit and said, yes, of course I'll do it. I said I would do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to honor that. And I have all the most confidence Dr. Shiva is going to produce an incredible report and really great information. And so the call ended. Everything was well. We went about talking about and meeting about the other things that were on our agenda. And it was all good. And the next day we get a call from our contact who says, Dr. Shiva doesn't want the money coming directly from Patrick. He felt that people would look at it as too connected to the actual audit, and this was a very independent project. It had nothing to do with the auditors, and people will, unfortunately, even though Patrick had no control, no involvement, no communication regarding anything that had to do with the audit or with this project. And so it made sense. It made a bit of sense. And they said, well, we can run it through your organization as a partner organization. And that made sense to us too, because we've been heavily involved in the audit process. This is our home state. We're a partner organization of America Project. So we called Patrick, and Patrick said, that's fine. That's fine. If that's the way he wants to do it, that's fine with me. And so just a few days later, we get an invoice. And this is the invoice, We the People AZ Alliance, $50,000 from Echo Mail. I did redact banking account information, so we're not here to dox people.
No, we don't want to do that.
And we got some follow-up emails from Dr. Shiva's executive assistant, Manjula, asking about, whether we sent the wire and additional information on how to send the wire. And so everything was set up, and we forwarded the invoice over to America Project, and Patrick gave the thumbs up, and they sent us the money. And so the money came into the account, and we contacted the gentleman that was helping to put all this together and said, good news, we got the money, and please let them know that we will get the money forwarded over to them tomorrow. And he said, okay, great, I can do that. So the next day came, and we get a phone call that says, Dr. Shiva doesn't want you to wire the money to him either. He feels like you're too closely connected to America Project and to Patrick Byrne, and there wouldn't be much of a difference. So hold on to the money and just keep it in your account till we can figure out another organization or another group, a nonprofit or something, that we can have you send the money to. Exactly. And you saw Steve's expression. That's kind of how we felt, right?
Yeah, we found ourselves not being sure whether we should feel insulted for not just ourselves, but Patrick mainly. Is there something wrong with his money? Is there something wrong with him? Why won't they take his money? Or why do they want his money, but they don't want his name attached to it or our name attached to it? So we didn't have an answer to that, but we knew it didn't feel right. On top of that, it kind of felt weird being asked to run the money through yet another organization not connected to anybody. Something just feels unethical about that.
Yeah, it felt kind of dark. And so we thought, the invoice is in our name. We were asked to pay it. We have the money. That money's not our money. That money was specifically for this project. And so we made the decision to wire the money as agreed. And so we went to the bank and we sent the wire. And I don't know what additional things personally transpired necessarily between Patrick and Dr. Shiva. And we've heard rumors that he plans to return the money. I can tell you right now, I haven't received the money back, so I don't know if that intent is true or not. But that's the facts of what actually happened.
We try not to operate using anything to do with assumptions or rumors or anything like that. So just because we've heard that, we're not going to act on that or even consider that to be true until we're actually told or shown one way or the other. So,
and I can tell you, use your eyes and see who's working. See who's actually getting stuff done, who's actually making a difference, and use logic when you decide who you're going to stand by or what side you're on in this pathetic mudslinging match. But people are using their platforms to literally destroy people who have been working their tail ends off for our country, to slander and maliciously attack General Flynn and Patrick Byrne, who have done nothing but risk so much for this country. And, the audit, Maricopa County audit. How many volunteer workers did we have in that audit?
Thousands of Americans that love their country, they love their family, and they care about the future of this republic that we live in, that we were entrusted with by our founding fathers. Thousands of people gave their time, chunks of their life. They gave up their vacation time, spent everything to make sure that they could be there.
To volunteer, to work.
To not just be a part of something historical, but to make sure it was done right, to be a part of it, to make sure it was done honestly, to see the truth for themselves. We were there almost every day ourselves, and we know most of the people that were there.
And I just say shame on you, to anybody out there that is calling this a sham audit,
fraud it. Yeah.
You sound like the left.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, when you put down these men with integrity, men like Patrick who funded it, men like Doug Logan who sacrificed so much to pave the way, the old adage, the men that came before us, all I can say is I'm sorry, shame on you. You know who you are. I don't need to name names, because you are insulting the integrity and the honesty and the rawness of these citizens of Maricopa County who worked their butts off, not just for Maricopa County, not just for the state of Arizona, but to shine light in this country. And, fruits. What is it? Show me where you spend your time and your money, and I'll show you where your heart is.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you right now, Patrick Byrne has spent all of his time and money on grassroots organizations like us all across this country who are fighting for America. We're fighting for the Constitution. We're fighting against corruption. We're fighting against lawless and out of control politicians.
So I don't think Patrick needs to apologize.
You tell me what you think the kind of man Patrick is when that's all he's doing.
So those of you that are calling on him to apologize to Lynn Wood, I ask you to go back in social media. I ask you to investigate and find out who threw the first shot, who started this match, and how long did it take for these good men to stand up and defend themselves. Show me your fruits. That's all I got to say. Show me your fruits, because America Project, General Flynn, Patrick Byrne, we the people, AZ Alliance, guess what? We have fruit. And I believe in America, and I believe in the patriots out there. And I believe that you will see the truth, and you do know what that truth is. Don't let the daytime soap opera distract you from this very real fight that we are in together.
Absolutely. And don't forget who the real enemy is. It's not your fellow American who loves his country and is fighting for what we all believe is the right thing to do.
No, the real enemy.
The real enemy is the one across the aisle who's trying to destroy our Constitution, take away our freedoms and liberties, force us into vaccines and masks and all kinds of stuff that's probably going to get this video banned if I say it, if I haven't already done that. But but let's not forget who the enemy is here, people. Let's not get caught up in the rumors and drama and innuendos and assumptions, right? If it wasn't for assumptions, there wouldn't be TV shows to watch, right? Nothing would be interesting, and that's what everything's become. All these Telegram channels and all these different things that are happening on social media, it's all turned into the Jerry Springer show.
So I'm going to close with this.
Sorry.
You're right.
I'm pissed.
Jerry, you want to start?
We are destroying ourselves. We are destroying ourselves when we are supposed to be working together to fight to save this country. Stop it. Go ahead.
Look at the facts. Look at the fruits. And you decide.
Thank you.
God bless you guys.
Bye.